Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivrindam Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. Chapter 23 of the Jaiva Dharma, Nam Tattva, the truth of the holy name. Bilva Pushkarni was a pleasant village. The Ganga flowed from north to west. There was a Shiva temple on the bank of a pond, surrounded by a Bilva forest. Not too far was the Bhavan Tarana. With Bilva Pushkarni on one side and Brahmana Pushkarni on the other side of the village, Shimulia was situated at one end of Navadvip town. Brajanath's house was at the north of the main road running through the center of Bilva Pushkarni. Bidding farewell to his sister Vijay Kumar, went some distance and thought that he could not go home without understanding the nature of Nam Tattva. Returning to Bilva Pushkarni, seeing his sister and nephew, he said, "I will stay a few days, then return home. I want to learn more about Nam from Babaji Maharaj." So Brajanath said, "Uncle, after much deliberation, I have seen that there is nothing more auspicious for the jiva, except for taking shelter of Krishna's holy name. Our Lord Gauranga appeared in Mayapur in order to preach to the world pure Krishna Nam. When our Guru taught us yesterday, he said that the name is the chief amongst all types of bhakti. He also said that we should understand Nam Tattva deeply. Oh, Uncle, let us go today, in the evening, and understand this topic well." Taking care of the two Vaishnavas who were visiting them, they spent the afternoon talking on various subjects. When the evening artik had ended, the Vaishnavas sat on the platform under the bakul tree in Shiva's Angan. Old Raghunath Das Babaji sat amongst them, chanting japa on his tulsi beads. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. At that time, Brajanath and Vijay Kumar came and offered respects. Babaji embraced them and said, "Has the joy in your bhajan increased?" Vijay Kumar, with folded hands, said, "Oh, Prabhuji, by your mercy, everything is auspicious. But we have come to learn more about Nam Tattva today." Babaji, with a joyful face, said, "Oh, the Lord has two types of names. One is primary, mukhya. The second is secondary, guna. The names which are used while taking support of Maya's gunas after the creation of the material world are always his secondary names, for they are related to the gunas. They are secondary names as they relate to this world. Just like we say, God is the creator. So, Shrishtikarta is the name of the Lord, meaning the creator. Jagatpata, he is the protector of the Jagat, of the universe. Vishwana Yanta, he is the regulator of the universe. Paramatma, he is the Lord within the heart. When the living being has a physical form, the Lord travels with him, remaining within the heart. But it is within this world. So these things that deal with this world, this creation, these bodies and so forth, are considered secondary names of the Lord. Anything that refers to God in relationship to this world, including names like Brahman and other things. Though the secondary names may give some result, they do not directly or immediately give spiritual results. They're quite different from the spiritual names of the Lord. The names of Bhagavan, which are eternally present within the spiritual world, which is beyond material space and time, are considered the primary and spiritual names of the Lord. That is, the Lord who is separated from this universe, who resides within his own abode. He is the cause of all causes, the source of this world, but he stands distinct from this world. And there he has his own abode. There he has his own leelas. There he has his servants surrounded him, and they refer to him by various names. These are the primary names. As far as Vishnu names, they're Narayan, Vasudev, Janardhan, Rishikesh, Hari, Achyuta. But then there are more intimate names, Govinda, Gopal, Krishna, Ram. But they're all considered primary names. All these names are eternal and are found within the spiritual world, and they are considered non-different from the Lord's form. Those primary names are non-different than the Lord himself. These names are most auspicious when chanted within this material world. They immediately create a spiritual result. Attracted by bhakti, they dance on the tongue of the human beings. The material world has no relationship with these names, for they are fully spiritual. The name is by its nature full of all the Lord's Shaktis. They are the empowerment of the Lord and his Shaktis. The Lord is present with his name. The Vaishnava philosophy is such that Nam and Nami are non-different. The name and he who is being named is not different. Krishna is within his name. And so when one is chanting the holy name of the Lord, it's considered the Lord is dancing on the tongue. And he is full, complete, along with all of his divine Shaktis. In other words, everything about the nature of the spiritual world can be experienced through chanting the holy names. Appearing within this material world, it destroys Maya for the living being. First effect is all illusions are broken by the power of the holy name. There is no friend of the jiva within this material world except for the name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is the supreme friend of the living being within this world. Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kulu Nastiva, 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 Eva Gatir, Anyata. There is no other way, no other way, no other way in this Kali Yuga except for the divine name of the Lord. The name of the Lord, the name of the Lord. The name has unlimited Shaktis. For the jiva burning in the fire of material life, entangled within the network of karma and maya, these names of the Lord uproots all sins. It is stated in the Garuda Purana, man is immediately freed of all sins, even by accidentally chanting the Lord's names. The person who takes shelter of the name becomes free of all suffering. In other words, his karmic entanglement comes to an end. A person who chants the name of the Lord not only purifies himself, but he purifies all of his family and his friends. Even one Vaishnava within the family can purify hundreds of generations back forward, it is said. Because Vaishnava who chants the holy name of the Lord is not an ordinary being. He's empowered by the name he is chanting. Even if a person has committed what is called a mahapatak, that is a powerful sin, he is glorified by the Lord day and night. And he purifies his heart and purifies his relatives. And the power of the holy name is such that it transcends all, even negative actions within this world. The name gives relief from all suffering for a person surrendering to the name. The obstacles of Kali Yuga will not remain for the person who chants the holy name. The Brihad Naradiya Purana says that Kali Yuga does not harass those who constantly chant Hare, Keshava, Govinda, Vasudeva, Jaganmaya. Just by hearing the name, one is delivered from all hellish conditions. The Nrsimha Purana states, the residents of hell, even one is a resident of hell, if he chants the name of the Lord by some chance, he develops bhakti and goes to the spiritual world. Even from that negative situation. How powerful is the Lord's name? If one chants the name of the Lord, prarabdha karmas are destroyed. All one's entanglements within this material world destroyed. If a person utters the holy name of the Supreme Lord, he can be freed from the chains of karma and achieve the supreme destination. But we see that still people in the age of Kali do not worship the Supreme Lord. The names of the Lord give blessings to the whole universe. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 11:36, O controller of the senses, rightly the world, chanting your name, rejoices and becomes attracted to you by this celebrated form. Arjuna declares the glories of Krishna's name in Bhagavad Gita. The world rejoices and all becomes attracted to you through the power of your holy name. You appear within this world through your holy name, especially in the Kali Yuga, to give the greatest benefit to mankind. The Vishnu Rahasya says, the result achieved by worshipping the Lord with devotion through hundreds of sacrifices within the Satya Yuga is achieved completely in the Kali Yuga by Govinda Kirtan. Whatever result, the Bhagavatam states, whatever result was obtained in the Satya Yuga by meditation on Vishnu, in the Treta Yuga by performance of yajnas, in the Dwapara Yuga by the deity worships performed there, are all obtained within the Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the name of Krishna. Oh, Vijay Kumar, think about it. It is seen that chanting the name is superior to all satkarmas, meaning fruitive actions. All satkarmas are material. If you do a yajna for pleasing this deva or that deva, they're considered material things. But the name of the Lord is spiritual. And though it is essential, and it is the very goal, on attaining the highest result, people do not chant. Consider again, one sees that all the angas of bhakti are sheltered within that name. Everything is there within Krishna. Therefore, we can say everything else is a support to our chanting. We have to be active. We are active people. So we have to do some service. We got to do things, cooking for the deities. But all of that is in support of our chanting, to keep us focused on our primary purpose is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Babaji says, well, in the scriptures, first, Vijay Kumar asks Babaji, I have full faith that the name of the Lord is spiritual. I would like to understand the Tattva free of doubts. How can the name be spiritual if it is composed of syllables, like we read in a book or we pronounce various syllables? We say different words. They may contain the same syllables that we find in Krishna's name. So how can it be spiritual? Babaji says, in the scriptures, the name and the Lord designated by the name, Nam Nami, the name is the form of spiritual ras, complete, pure, and eternally liberated. The name and the Lord designated by the name are not different tattvas. They are one and the same. Because of this, all of Krishna's spiritual qualities are in the name. The name is the complete tattva, the complete truth. There is no material contamination found within the name. It is eternally liberated, since it is never bound up by Maya's gunas. It is not something that is entangled within the material world. The name is Krishna, a form of spiritual ras. And since it is Chintamani, the divine transcendental gem that fulfills all wishes, it can give a person whatever he wants. Vijay Kumar asks again, but how can the syllables of the name be beyond material words. Babaji said, the name of the Lord does not take birth in the material world. In other words, it manifests within this world and has been handed down, we know, from the very beginning of time. Everything was received through the medium of Brahma, handed down. We're part of the Brahma Sampradaya, and everything has been handed down in this way. The Jiva is a spiritual particle, situated in his pure spiritual form, is qualified to chant the name of the Lord in its spiritual body. The first conception, of course, that we are taught is that we are not this body. We are spirit soul. And being spirit soul, our eternal nature is one of service to the Lord. And we have a divine relationship with the Lord. And that can be awakened through the chanting of the holy name. So the first concept of a spiritual body is with the concept, with the consideration that we are not this body, but we are spiritual. And we have an eternal form in relationship to service to the Lord. As we chant the holy name, that becomes clearer and clearer within our consciousness. By the mercy of Hladini, that is the Hladini Shakti or Srimati Radharani, when one's Swarup functions, true nature functions, the name manifests. When the name manifests, it appears first as a mental function by the mercy of the name, then dances on the tongue. The name is not made of material syllables. Only when it dances on the material tongue does it manifest as material syllables. That is the secret of the name. I remember previously I gave an example that one can chant the name, of course, and there is some power in that name, even when it's not connected through the medium of the Vaishnava. But the power of Diksha is that it empowers that name. Just like we may get a credit card and we have to activate it. So the actual process of Diksha is that which activates the mercy of Srimati Radharani within our life, and the power of the holy name becomes solid. And we're no longer chanting with the material tongue, because it is said at the time of Diksha, because of the power of its purification, the material body begins to fade away, at least in mental conception. I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Gradually we understand how all the karmas are being washed away. Prabhupada used to give the example of the spinning fan. That is what we call the prabdha karmas. They're working in our life. And then we pull the plug. It may be still spinning, but slowly coming down like that. So material life is like that. We'll have to work through maybe some karmas, some past offenses, so many different things may be there, but it's all coming to an end. Whatever is going on now is being divinely directed by the Supreme Lord. Vijay Kumar asks, among all the primary names, which one is the sweetest? Babaji says, in the Shatanam Stotra, it is said, one name of Vishnu is superior to all Vedic mantras chanted. But one name of Ram is equal to 1,000 names of Vishnu. So, which is superior? The name of Ram is superior to Vishnu, which is superior to the chanting of all Vedic mantras. But the Brahmanda Purana says, one name of Krishna chanted once gives the result of chanting 1,000 pious names 3 times. In other words, far superior even to the name of Ram, referring to Ramchandra. There is no name as attractive as Krishna's name. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught the names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One should chant those names constantly. Vijay Kumar says, and what is the method of chanting? Babaji says, one should chant the name without offense on tulsi beads. Or if not available to you, you can count on your fingers, like one may do in Gayatri. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If one chants purely, one attains the result, and that result is prem. Counting is done because the sadhaka does not know if he is gradually increasing his cultivation of the name. Tulsi is dear to the Lord. By touching Tulsi, one experiences additional strength in the name. One should chant the name, understanding that the name and Krishna are non-different. Oh, please, Guruji, explain the pure name. Babaji says, when the name of Krishna manifests with dedicated bhakti, that is, you're chanting with actual bhakti within the heart, full faith, that is what is called the name of Krishna. Not the syllables alone, but the heart of the chanter manifests the pure Nam of Krishna, the name of Krishna, which is not different than the form of Krishna, through his faith. Whatever else seems to be the name may be namabhas, that is a shadowy reflection of the name. There are many people who may chant in a namabhas form that have real no connection with the sampradaya and stuff, but it becomes a popular thing within yoga ashrams or so forth. They may chant, but that can be considered namabhas. It's not the pure name that has come down through the sampradayas and like that. And the worst is if one is chanting nam aparad, making offenses to the name. One may be saying the name, but with an offensive attitude. Vijay Kumar said, Prabhu is chanting the name, the sadhya, that is it the goal, or is it the sadhana, the means? Is it the goal or the means? Babaji says, when the name is chanted during sadhana bhakti, the name is sadhana. That is your practice. When the name is chanted in bhav or prem, that is the goal. That is, they're chanting in ecstasy. That's a different type of chanting. One is chanting to purify the heart, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first gives the instruction. Chanting cleanses the heart, the mirror of the mind, so forth. But when one actually matures, one sees that it is the goal because he's in ecstasy when he's chanting. He realizes Krishna. He realizes his relationship with Krishna. And he can practically see that, or sometimes he does. So, according to the condition of bhakti, the sadhaka, the name, may appear in a restrictive way or fully blossoming. Vijay Kumar said, is there difference in knowing the name of Krishna and knowing the form of Krishna? No, there is no difference. There is one secret, though. The name gives more mercy than the form. If one commits offense against the Lord's Sarup, that is considered like one has committed an offense in deity worship by neglect or something. That is one type of offense. If one commits an offense against the Lord's Sarup, the Sarup does not forgive him. It's considered serious. Aparad when you do things. Therefore, Prabhupada was very clear who can do the deity worship and so forth, not to commit offenses to the deity. But the name is very forgiving. Therefore, the devotee should embrace the holy name. And if one is worshiping the deity along with the holy name, then the holy name will assist one to override all offenses. But the name forgives both the offenses against the Lord's Sarup and against the name. Understanding offenses to the name with care, one must chant, avoiding them. Since unless one is offenseless, one cannot chant the name. Another day, you can understand about the offenses to the name. So you come back another day, and we will discuss Nam Aparad, all the 10 offenses to the name of the Lord. Brajanath and Vijay Kumar, having understood the glories of the name and the Sarup, the very form of the name, slowly took the dust of their guru's feet and returned to Bilva Pushkarini. Thus ends the chapter describing the glories of the holy name. We'll pick it up with chapter 24, offenses to the name, next week. Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol, Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam.